Welcome to Candid Conversations with Candidates, brought to you by Crowing Power in partnership with the Brainerd Lakes Chamber and Lakes Media Collaborative. I'm Lisa Paxton, and joining me today is Todd Holman, candidate for Baxter City Council. Welcome, Todd.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Good to have you here. We're going to open with your opening comments.
All right. Well, first I'd like to thank the Chamber and all of those associated with offering this venue. This is a great opportunity for candidates like myself to have a moment to reach out and to introduce themselves to our constituencies. I'm a returning candidate. I've been serving the Baxter City Council for 5 years, 1 year appointed, and in the last 4 years I was elected in 2008 and appreciated the privilege and opportunity to serve our community and really the greater regional community in that capacity. So it's my pleasure to be here.
Good. Good to have you here today. Let's start by talking about your top priority if elected.
I think that it can't be understated what a tremendously talented and efficiently working city council we have. I think the priority for me as an individual of that Baxter City Council is to continue consistent development of service delivery for our community, for all the aspects of our community. We are on the verge of opening up our doors to start planning again by opening the comprehensive land use plan and all the components thereof. And so I think it's important as this year's priority for all of us to provide public venue to that, as well as work hard individually as representatives in the process.
Okay. So give me 3 things that distinguish you from the other candidates.
I think one of the things that distinguishes me from other candidates is that I've had a diverse background of experience. First, I've served at a public capacity as a community planner for Crow Wing County for some time. I served as the community development director for the city of Baxter for some time, and now at this capacity of city council, it's given me a perspective to look at government service delivery and representation from all of those angles, and I think I bring balanced, thoughtful perspective to the decisions that we make along those paths.
Okay. So let's talk about budget priorities. What are your budget priorities and how will you pay for them?
Great question. I think we've got to continue to look at our priorities of health, safety, and welfare. You know, the function of local units of government is to provide those core services. And so when we start looking at our budget, both short-term and long-term, we've got to be looking at the public safety component. We've got to be looking at sewer, water, and street, and protecting the huge investment that our community has in infrastructure. And so the way I approach our budgeting discussions is looking first at maintaining, and then looking at what we can develop new, what our capacities are, and then ultimately get to the pieces that the services that our citizens expect, and that's a development and maintenance of park and recreation facilities and things that give us that quality of life that I think all of us have come to appreciate in the Baxter area. So
how do we pay for all that?
We have been, I think, on the Baxter Council side, pretty fiscally conservative. The question might be, who would ever want to be elected in 2008? And so rising to that challenge, our city and certainly the council, our talented staff, and our recommending commissions have turned over every stone to look for operational savings. And so we too, like other units of government, had to downsize our staff structure. We had to look at our staff structure to see that we could deliver services that our public, both our business and our citizen constituencies expect, and then still not increase those tax burdens in a time of economic recession. So I think we've been successful in the last 4 years responding to that recessional challenge.
You see that going forward?
We do. I think the difficulty for us is that when housing and real estate and valuation drop so significantly and so suddenly, we did in fact respond. Like all units of government, we tried to downsize all of those operational costs and places where we could. But we're going to see now in the new normal, I suppose, as it might be referred to, as things start to pick up, and we're seeing that locally, it'll be a while. That taxing capacity will not come back for a couple of years, and so we're going to be pressed, I think, equally as hard now figuring out how to deal with a resurgence of some energy in our development community as we were during that contraction time. So those will be our ongoing challenges.
Okay. So how do you make sure that the city is business friendly?
I think when I mention service delivery, that certainly means to everyone. I think the city has to be business friendly by providing expeditious or speedy permit processing. That's one level of service, but also that other part of maintaining our infrastructure, making sure that the water, sewer, street facilities are maintained and developed correctly. Those are all parts of keeping the business community accessible. I think the recognition that our commercial community is dependent on a greater micropolitan region is significant. We have to be mindful that we are providing transportation facilities, for example, for a lot more folks than just the local folks that live here, and so therein lies our challenge. But those are our priorities, to provide accessibility to the business community, good and efficient code enforcement and permit response and things of that nature as we go.
Okay. So as you look at partnerships, what community partners will you work with if elected?
I think continuing with existing partners, certainly the Chamber, the BLADEC, our economic partners as well. We work with nonprofits and Housing Redevelopment Authority folks in HUD. We work with developers specifically to try to find ways to make projects work, and sometimes the city can provide just the right piece of incentive to help the business or the housing project move forward.
Okay, great. Anything else you'd like to add that you haven't had a chance to share?
Well, I think I can't emphasize enough again that we've had a good working council. It's been my pleasure and privilege to work with that group, with our talented staff, with the citizen commissions that support all of the decision making in our city, all of the nonprofit entities within our community. It takes a whole village, and then the other communities, the city of Brainerd, the school district, Crow Wing County, all of those are our partners, people that or entities that we're going to continue to work with to look for those efficiencies long term.
Great. Thank you for joining us for Candid Conversations with Candidates. Visit us at votebrainerdlakes.com, and remember, vote November 6th.
Thank you.